What is happening, my people, my friends, my subscribers out there? True Detective, Season 1, Episode 7, man. This thing, it's getting juicy. So, without no further ado, man, we're just going to jump in. I like doing these short intros to my videos. It'll just get straight to the point, right? True Detective, let's go. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show, man. Enjoying the show with me. Let's get into it. See you guys at the end for the review.
Why are we here?
You know that thing State PD's asking about? Lake Charles murder. You shouldn't have been in the papers or online somewhere by now. And we can't trust them. And I mean, they'll cover something like that up. Who knows what else they've covered up? What you think?
I think you don't look particularly healthy. Listening to you talk, you seem kind of brittle, Rust. I'm not interested in whatever it is you think you owe me.
Oh, I don't owe you. We left something undone. I've been working on this for 2 years, me, myself.
Shit, man, what did you alienate every other person in your life, and then finally you came back to me in the rotation?
You know, not for nothing, but if you wouldn't have clipped the dude back then, we might have got the whole fucking story out of him.
You know, I think I'm gonna finish this beer and say so long.
I need you to help me.
Why would I? They say you can't account for your time. They got eyewitnesses placing you at the Lake Charles crime scene. You got some storage shed that you won't let them look at.
That's right.
Why not? Help them stop wasting their time.
Fucking since when did guilt and innocence define a state PD, huh? People I'm after, they're all fucking over. They're in a lot of different things. Pieces, family trees. You gotta come see what I got.
Why would I ever help you?
Because you have a debt.
You got some fucking sack. What's that mean? I have a debt, huh?
This is the way shit went down in 95. This is on YouTube, buddy.
What do you got to show me?
He's been working the case. That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah, he's totally brought you out here to kill you, Marty. He brought you out here to kill you in a storage unit. That's...
Alright. Remember, there was no physical evidence connecting Dora Lange to Ledoux's place out in the woods. Meaning it probably didn't happen out there. Nobody was in a hurry to bring that up. 2, women and children going missing. All taken from areas within a 10-mile radius of schools that were funded by Tuttle's Wellspring Initiative.
Well, establish a connection. Who's in, who's out, you know? I mean, do people disappear in equal numbers in other parts of the state? How many schools were there?
14. Now, I've covered a surface area. All right, pulled runaways in state and missing persons. And if you notice, there's twice as many along the bayous. I don't know why. Hell, someone should do a study as to why.
Now you're just throwing up stats.
Why was Tuttle so interested in the Lange case, huh? Remember Charlie Lange said what Ledoux told him? Said there's a group of men, sacrifices. Well, I think Tuttle recognized the scene. That's why he came down there Jiminy quick with the fucking task force, and that's why he tripped out when I talked to him in '02.
Okay, so what happened to him? I mean, I'm looking around here, and I don't see or hear anything that doesn't make this all conjectural.
1988. Accusations of child molestation at a preschool funded by Tuttle. The name of that school is Shepherd's Flock. It shuts down, reopens 2 years later on Pelican Island under the name Light of the Way Academy, where Rianne Olivier went. And I got an enrollment list, 16 kids in the class. One of them turned out to be a young man who just showed up for solicitation in New Orleans.
Why are you asking me about that place?
That place shut down. There's a lot of talk going around. You ever see that Reverend Billy Lee Tuttle around?
You know, I think so. But who can remember way back? I decided it all had to be a dream anyways. And I don't remember if there were men taking pictures, sometimes other things.
Who were they?
I don't know. They had animal faces. That's why I decided it had to be a dream.
Any other kids see this?
One girl, I don't remember her name. She first started talking about it. She's seen it too. The faces.
Very fun, no.
Maybe.
You ever see these men's faces?
Once. They didn't all have animal faces.
Scars?
3 younger men. I don't remember them. Just one. He had bad scars all around his mouth, like the bottom half got all burned up. And you know what? I thought that meant it was a dream too.
I don't understand. Are you saying that you think that this hypothetical killer was an old school teacher? Or it might, what, involve state PD? God damn, what happened to you, man?
You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. You and I are on the case in Erath. Girl comes forward and says she was chased through the woods by a spaghetti monster with green ears. Now, I think that this is our man with the scars on his face. Think about it, we've got 3 references. 17 years ago, that old revival church said a tall man with scars came through. Kelly Ryder in the hospital. And now this hooker from the quarter, Toby. I don't know who he is, I don't know where he is, I don't know where this whole thing fucking starts, but it ends with him. You know the little township down around Erath? Right, that's where the Tuttle family is from. Now, it used to be a pirate hideout. Then it turned into plantations and whatnot. Had a very rural sense of Mardi Gras. You know, the men on horses, animal masks and such.
Career du Mardi Gras.
That's right. Now, they had an annual winter festival, right? Heavy on the Saturday, a place where that Santeria and Voodoo all mashed together. Have a look. On the winter festival. Blindfold. Antlers. Mask. I got these from a series an artist did in Kenner, right after Katrina. Says he kept running across these stick things, as he called them. Look familiar? I think our man had a real good time after the hurricane. Chaos. People missing, people gone. Cops gone. I think he had a real good year.
What do you need me for?
You got friends on the force. You have access, but I don't. Databases. I need case files. I need missing persons. I need homicides. I need title transfers, auto, and home. I've got a list of names. I need background checks, tax records, anything we can get on Ledoux.
Jesus Christ, man.
I wouldn't have called you, and I wouldn't have fucking bothered you if State wouldn't have pulled me in on this Lake Charles case.
Well, if you need help, why don't you just give it to Papania and Gilboa?
No, they may be pawns in this thing and not even fucking know it.
Come on.
Look, Eddie Tuttle is the goddamn senator of this state. The late Reverend Billy Lee Tuttle is his cousin. I'm telling you, it's a fucking family thing. That's what I mean when I talk about the sprawl, Marty. Eddie Tuttle's the reason that the Lake Charles thing never made the wire.
Look, man, you have some compelling stuff here, and you might have something. But all this, the sprawl, as you call it, which I would call conjecture, this shit about the Tuttles, state PD, do you know how fucking crazy that sounds? It's like you've been alone too long. You know, like you maybe told yourself this story and kept drinking until you believed it.
Marty. I had my time where I wondered if this was all in my head. That time passed.
Really? What happened to Billy Lee Tuttle?
It's something you're gonna have to look at. No other way around it. I looked and Billy died. He looked at mine. He got me suspended. Now, Billy Lee Tuttle owns 3 houses in Louisiana. One in Shreveport, one in Baton Rouge, one in New Orleans. Also one in Florida. I waited till he went on his spring ministry tour, 2010.
Look, Russ, I changed my mind. If you did something, I don't want to hear about it.
I told you about my stint in robbery. Make a pretty ace be an E-man. Now, I staked his places out for weeks. Checked surveillance, mapped security. I found ingresses. Here I am, you know, my whole life is this one expanding circular fuck up, and I think it's about to close out with me getting clipped in a home invasion. And what I'm saying is, I was aware that I might have lost my mind. But after the second home, Doc got taken behind the woodshed and put down. Notice he never reported the Baton Rouge break-in, just the Shreveport house. Found those in the safe there. Paper stock's over 15 years old.
God damn it.
These sounding bad if you don't know what you're looking at.
Bruh.
And there's a videotape.
Bruh. This guy's like, God damn it. Stuff like this you don't want to see.
Take a look.
It's like a cult. What do they do?
No! Fuck!
I had to see if any of the men took off the mask. None did. I won't avert my eyes. Not again. That little girl's Marie Fawn, no. You killed Tuttle. No. I assumed that he was thinking he was gonna be blackmailed. And I think some people took him out after they found out what was taken from the safe before he had a chance to. We started by pulling everything there is on Dora Lange. I got names and family members, Tuttle connections, any information that we can get on Reggie or Dora Lange. All right, we can coordinate out of your offices if you want.
Speaking of, you know, I've been taking some writing courses. And, no, I have. And I've been tinkering around with this thing off and on. True crime. And that's the genre, not the title.
You serious?
Yeah. You know, what happened in 95 and some other old cases. And all I need from you, Bobby, is some old copies of case files. You still like your sing-em-all, don't you?
I guess I do. Well, business gotten so bad you gotta become a writer?
Nope, I've always wanted to do it. I just never had the time. And regards to files, I'd like to avoid fucking suck the two dicks I spent last Saturday with.
Popping in Gilboa. I hear you. Of course, man, whatever you need.
Appreciate it, Bobby.
No problem.
Missing
All right.
persons, mostly, maybe far back as the 80s.
Well, anything before '05 that never became part of an official investigation, it isn't going to be in the computers. You're going to have to sort through the files.
Damn.
Thank you. Found something. Background. Dora Lange transferred title on a truck to a Jimmy Lange. Found him in White Castle. Owns an auto shop.
You pull that Marie Fawn file?
There wasn't one. Report's gone. Backtracking that.
Why is this guy just here listening? Can I help you?
Marty, this is Robert Dumaine. He owns a place. He's not a cop no more, Robert. Bob had a little boy. Been missing since '85.
Sorry. Jimmy LeDoux. Came up spotless. 3 kids. Wife's a teacher. He coaches his boys' Pee-wee football team.
Any relation?
Some of the dudes around, I never had to worry about a connection. But yeah, my dad's second cousin or something. My pop didn't like him none. Said they weren't white enough to be white trash. What's this about exactly?
Man asked us to locate his daughter. That was a long time ago, but it looks like she might have known DeWall.
Sorry to hear that. Must know what happened to them. Sick shits. Pop said they died too quick.
Is there anything you remember that you can tell us about these guys?
Just they were nuts. Looked at you funky. Reggie was always asking about the girls in my school, and a couple times I saw him DeWall just said kooky stuff.
Any chance you ever saw a third man?
Still walking around with the leisure.
Man had a bunch of scars on the bottom of his face.
It's weird you say that. I remember that face. My pop let him use our deer camp once. Took me with him. I was like 11. They were maybe 10 years older than me. They introduced us. The guy, his face underneath his nose and cheeks, scarred. Gave me funny looks all night. Every time I glanced at him, staring at me.
Any chance this man with the scars was another LeDoux?
No. I don't know. I don't think so. Next morning, the men were too hungover to hunt. Pop and I went home.
You, ever see him again? The guy with the scars?
Never again. I'd remember.
Seems like they're basically chasing a cult that maybe sacrifices kids or something.
Direction.
Tax records. Drew a paycheck from Tuttle's father. Some kind of domestic.
How'd you find her?
Well, I had to get federal income tax records from 40 to 59. Matched social with credit check run in the late 90s for Section 8 housing in Alexandria.
Good job. Look at you.
High praise from a bartender. We're private investigators hired to do ancestral research, mineral rights along the coast.
That is a pretty black girl.
Mr. Lord, you worked for Mr. Sam Tuttle 19 years, right?
Yes, Erath. Mm-hmm. Then Shreveport.
So you knew his son, Billy Lee, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cousin, Eddie?
Little boys. Mm-hmm. I remember 'em.
What about extended family? Cousins, you know, that might have been close to the boys.
Those days, families were bigger. Oh, all sorts of brothers, cousins, kids just running around.
Did Sam Tuttle have kids outside his marriage that you know about?
Don't you know it? Now, people kept their own back then. I mean, a man's house was his own. Mr. Sam, he had lots of children, all types. He didn't like a woman. See, once she had it done to her, he didn't like him but that one time.
You like virgins.
And with all these kids running around, you remember one that maybe had scars all across the bottom of his face?
I think that was Mr. Sam's grandchild. His daddy did that to him, that poor boy. I think that child was a childress. What, he was a little boy, a childress.
Or Mr. Sam's other family?
I shouldn't be talking to you about this.
That's okay. Mr. Lord, could you have a look at something for me? One thing. Just have a look, see if you recognize it.
You know Kokosa?
What is it?
Him who eats time. In robes. It's a wind of invisible voices.
Minimal
What?
rights, my ass. What y'all doing?
Rejoice. Death is not the end. Rejoice.
You need to leave now.
Death is not the end.
You need to leave.
You know Kokosa. You rejoice. Kokosa.
Yo. She like, you really out here giving me singles?
The rest of the family, they don't really talk to Auntie. She crazy. Dementia. She never had any kind of good life, but most days she can't even make sense.
Yeah, she sure made sense to me.
That should worry you, mister.
Sure hope that old lady was wrong.
About what?
That death not being the end of it.
Hey, Jason the Colt.
Marie Fontenot stuff. Got some old sheets. Sheriff signed off on the report made in error, but he didn't take the original complaint on her. Deputy did. You ain't gonna believe this shit. Steve Geraci. Before CID, he was with Vermilion Parish Sheriffs. Erath was his beat.
If it got covered
No.
up, Steve might know something. Didn't say a fucking word when we asked about it in '95.
I never did like that cocksucker.
He's from Iberia originally. After CID, he went home. He's sheriff of Iberia Parish.
No freaking way.
Russ, the only person can arrest a sheriff in this state is the governor.
Well, we ain't looking to arrest him, Marty. Just have a little chat.
Well, he ain't gotta talk with you.
I got a car battery and 2 jumper cables argue different.
You can start with that.
Hey, you know, on the phone you were saying something about that Fontenot girl.
Yeah.
Why's that on your radar?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just, extended family wants to locate.
I didn't remember at the time. Back in '95. I was hitting the bottle a lot back then.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
20 years ago, you know. My recall, girl's mom was single, drug charges.
What TV show I used to watch this
girl
dude
went to
on,
live with her
man?
birth daddy, I think. As if I'm remembering. right.
It's one of my favorite shows I used to
Mama
watch
didn't make
back
a
in the
fuss
day.
After the first notice, so she was fine with it.
And you talked to the family directly back then?
No, Ted Childress, sheriff. He knew him.
Children.
Childress. Yeah.
Now watch this. Hey, that client you got, asking about the Fontenot girl. You let him know I'd be happy to talk to him.
Oh, yeah, distant relatives, St. Louis, trying to settle a tiny inheritance. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, they want to talk. You let them know.
Yeah. Don't go too fast, Sheriff.
Not me.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Hey. Better get those jumper cables ready.
It's getting juicy. It
You know
wasn't
that
Breaking Bad.
Fontenot girl, remember going off with her daddy? I just wasn't clear. Was it you knew for a fact she went with her daddy, or somebody told you that that's what happened?
The family talked to Sheriff Childress. The girl's aunt and uncle, he knew them.
Mm-hmm. Who were they?
starting to think this wasn't just a friendly invitation from an old pal. Huh?
It's definitely that.
Well, then try this then. I said all I remember about the girl. Let's just have a good time and don't ask again.
I'm with you 150% on that.
All right.
Thing is, Steve, I ain't gonna ask you.
But Rust is...
He is. Oh, I wouldn't if I was you, Steve.
You're out of your jurisdiction, Sheriff.
You realize who I am now, you assholes?
Yeah, I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
But you're done after this. I'll have boss crackers splitting your ass in Angola.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And some other things. Come on.
Let the torture begin.
That church Cole talked about supposed to be right here. We're lost.
We're not lost. We going in the right direction. We heading south.
And that's gonna hit us to 49.
No, we're not looking for the 49. We're looking for the church.
I know we're looking for the church. We ain't got no church. Ain't seen nothing that even resemble no church.
All right, well,
even nobody out here to even ask where anything is.
Let me know when you see something.
There ain't nothing to see.
Hey! Hey! You know there's a little church around here? Pretty old, black minister?
You must mean Son Alive, sir. That place shut down. 05, I think, just after all them hurricanes.
Hey, you know how to get to 49 from here?
Sure. About a half mile, you'll see a left. PR 1435, take that. About
This is the same dude that was...
Fields, you'll hit 49 before Crowley.
This dude, man. We've seen him before. This guy. He the one with the scars.
Been here a long, long time.
He the dude with the scars, bro. How did they not remember him? We've seen him before. I don't remember what episode it was. We've met him before. We've met the dude before, man. It's the same dude that gave... they went... I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think he gave Marty and Russ directions back in the day too. Bro, that's crazy. Yo, so I went back to look for that scene. It's in episode 3 where Rust, you know what I'm saying? Russ was talking to this dude. It was talking to him about, you know, asking him questions and stuff, and they got, you know, Marty was sitting in the car and then he called him away, and I'm looking at the scene and I'm like, they made sure that you as the viewer did not see that it was, that it wouldn't have come around for you to thinking that that was the guy once they started talking about scars, because it was subtly there. Like I watched the scene a couple of times to see if I could notice the scars on his face, and the way how the angle that he was turned, like you can kind of see it but you don't really see it, so it kind of giving you the perspective of how Russ was seeing it. Probably that's why he didn't remember that this dude had scars, you know what I'm saying? Probably he's going to remember eventually, but this dude, we've met him before on, I think it was at one of the churches, right? And he was, you know, mowing the lawn on the same shit that we see him doing now, that we've seen him, right? And I'm watching the scene and I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn, like for like a split second he turned when Marty started to blow the horn in the scene. And for a split second, he turned, and then the camera shifted away. He, like, right as he turned his head, the camera shifted away. If you go back and you watch that scene, right? If you go back and you watch that scene, you see this a split second. They made sure, like, I tried to pause it, and it was so hard to pause that scene for you to see the burns on his face. but it was there. It's the same guy. And I remember I was like, didn't we meet this dude before? It was like in one of the earlier episodes. It was episode 3, close to the end of episode 3 that we met it, because I was like, nah, we know we met. You know what I'm saying? But this episode, man, when it came on to, you know, how it was done, how it was written. So now we're fully into present day now, where everything basically is coming to a head, where we are finding out that this is a cult movement, man, that has been going on, and it's been going on through the church and just through this generation of people that has been living, you know, in the state. It's just this generation of people, right? And it's just crazy to me the way how they film the stuff so that you understand. Now we're in the present day of what's really going on. You know, they're outside of the interviews. They were suspecting Russ, but Russ has been, you know, he explained his absence. He was in, what he said, Alaska, I think he said he went back to Alaska for 8 years, came back in 2010, and has been you know, working the case on his own, trying to figure out what really happened, because it bugged him. I can imagine, you know what I'm saying, old cases, you know, even though you see it portrayed in you know, movies, TV shows, and all this other stuff, where you hear of cops can't let go of a certain case because it just kind of stays with them. It is very true in real life. There's a lot of cops, lots of retired detectives and stuff like that, that there's this one case, or maybe two sometimes, that really sticks with them, that was left unsolved. And it's, you know what I mean, so it's kind of like, it's like one of those things where he came back, he figured that he has to figure out what's really happening here, because they not necessarily got the wrong guy. There's this situation that this generation of family that's been doing this, and it's not just one of them that is involved in this. And it seems like what they do is, I think what they do is they have sex with these little girls, virgin girls, and then they sacrifice them in some way. I think that's what they're doing, and I think they do it every now and then. So I think a lot of that is going to be revealed in the final episode of the season, so we can understand what was the motive behind this cult and blah blah blah. But I think it is a cult though, so it is really good that that we're here now, and we can stop suspecting Russ, you know, of being the one that's unhinged and might have committed these murders. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't on that train. I was not on the train. I was like, there's nothing that indicates that Russ would do this. So I was not going to accuse him of this unless I see some evidence, unless you give me some hard evidence that this guy, yes, Russ is unhinged and stuff like that. Like, he's not your typical person. He thinks differently. He has a different perspective on the world and all of this other stuff. But that doesn't make him automatically a serial killer. Like, come on now, right? So we gotta understand people for who they are, and who they are as individuals, man. And don't group them up in something because they might portray behaviors as such. You know what I mean? You can't just outright just say that. You know what I mean? Especially when it's something like somebody being a murderer or a rapist or something like that. You can't just immediately say, just because somebody thinks that that's what happened, you're going to immediately be like, that is what happened, because he's acting a little weird. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be like that. And that's why this whole movement that's going on today, to believe all women stuff and all this other stuff, I'm just like, listen, man, bring some hard evidence. Find the courage, ladies. Find the courage. I encourage you guys. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but find the courage that when something happens to you, when you are assaulted sexually, or, you know, the R word, please find the courage to go to the police immediately, so they can do the arquettes and all of this other stuff. Don't wait until 5-10 years later to now want to whisper it in somebody's ear, and they should just believe you and put somebody in jail that you might happen to point out or whatever, because then you're not going to have an hard evidence. And then when this person gets off, You get what I'm saying? When this person gets off, now you're mad. It's your word against his, right? So come on now. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because you do have women that actually lie about this as well. So we can't just take your word, is what I'm trying to say. We can't do that, and you should not do that for anybody. Somebody comes up to you and say, this person did this to me. Don't just immediately be like, I knew that he was this, I knew that he was. You get what I'm trying to say? Unless there's some hard evidence there. Like if you say somebody hit you, I need to see a bruise. Right? And also, we still go investigate. You get what I'm saying? We still gonna be investigated, because you have women out here that are hurting themselves and saying it's the man that hurt them too. It happens, right? So when it comes on to what's happening in the show and what I believe is going to take place, I think a lot is going to be revealed in this final episode of the season that I'm going to watch next. Glad to see Russ and Marty working together again, even though they're not the greatest pair together. They do good work together, so you can't deny that. And they cover for each other, and sometimes they need a break from each other, and that works too. I'm not saying that Russ is right for yeah, I'm saying having sex with Maggie, even though it's Maggie that pushed herself onto him. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I'm glad to see them working together, trying to figure out what went down. So this interrogation is going to be intense for our guy Steve here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to remember what show I used to watch him in, man. I cannot remember what show it is. I just can't remember. I'm going to have to look it up, because it's going to keep bugging me. But in any case, guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Really enjoying the show. Can't wait to watch this final episode. It's a really good episode. They found out a lot. They found out a lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. And then I'll have a thorough review of season 1 after the final episode. So make sure you tune in for that as well. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. And I will catch you guys for the next one, man. Peace.